Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Steven Moustaris. I hope every single one of you guys got to, live up your Thanksgiving weekend like I did with my family and all my loved ones. Amazing weekend. It's even a nice little week, coming off of no MMA. So for this weekend, man, the 1st of December, the first weekend of December, I should say, the UFC always delivers. And for your boy, my birthday's the 5th of December, so I'm always looking forward to these fight cards. We can go back as far as you want looking at some of the crazy moments we've gotten in these things. I remember when the whole Ultimate Fighter finale, when Brendan Schaub got knocked out by Big Country. I remember when Kimbo Slice slammed Houston Alexander through the damn octagon. I remember John Jones' quote-unquote loss against Matt Hamill. Max Holloway's beat the crap out of Aldo on those weekends. John Jones laid Machito to rest like a bag of potatoes the one year. But nothing has been as, probably as appreciative for me as, last year satisfying when it came to Khalil Roundtree putting the absolute work on that man, Anthony Smith. And there's a potential this weekend. I know the fight card's so stacked in probably the last fight we're going to talk about is Anthony Smith versus Dom Reyes. But for your boy to get to witness Anthony Smith get knocked out 2 straight, birthday weekends, I'll be geeked, man. It'd be the best Christmas gift I've ever got, or best, birthday gift I've ever got. So when we really look into this card, though, UFC 310 is stacked to the gills, man. From the top to the bottom, nothing but fireworks. I mean, Clay Guida's on the damn card. You got Eric Anders versus Chris Weidman. I mean, there's so many different weird ones. Aljamain Sterling versus Movsar Evloev somehow on the freaking, prelims. Brian Battle's on the prelims. There are so many fights going on this weekend. We can name them all. So I kind of wanted to look at the 3 biggest fights this weekend. And I think the first one, the easiest one to go with, man, the Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Gary fight. When you're asking me, this is arguably a bigger fight than seeing, the championship fight against Bilal Muhammad. I don't care which one you want to throw in there. This fight right here, man, is huge. And I know we don't have the greatest groundwork of, 2 undefeated guys, 2 undefeated prospects fighting. Because the last one that comes to my mind just off rip is the whole Izzy versus Paulo Costa fight. And I just remember going into that fight just being like, man, this is going to be exciting. And we all left with Izzy just putting on a masterclass performance. So I'm dying to see this. We don't get it often where 2, up-and-coming prospects actually face off each other until we actually have the belt involved. But with these circumstances, it's massive, man. I cannot wait for it. I'll probably break it down more, but I'm hoping my man Shavkat Rakhmonov comes out and just takes out Ian Gary. And, this press conference might not be the most fun because we do have the weird, language barrier with Shavkat Rakhmonov, but I know Ian Gary likes to talk and all, but I think this is why I like this fight so much is because, Ian Gary's going to try to be his Conor McGregor ripoff like he always is, but Shavkat's not going to understand anything he's saying. So this is just going to be 2 talented men going in there and just taking it, seeing who's the best, who's going to take the 0 from who. And I ultimately think whoever wins this fight, I think they have a really good chance of beating Bilal Muhammad, especially Shavkat Rakhmonov, who can, he could really threaten any submission ever. So Ian Gary, I think he could make this a very, very boring fight and kind of run away. And because his defense is good as much as you guys want to talk crap, but I think Shavkat might get bored here in about the 3rd round and just starts going, screw it, we're going for it. So I'm excited to see how this fight plays out. I think number 2, that can go many ways, but for your boy personally, Aljamain Sterling versus Movsar Evloev, I mean, I know people don't like grappling. I know people don't like grappling here in MMA, especially the average fan. They like the knockouts. They like all the highlight reels, but this might be the 2 best grappling, matchups that we could see when it comes to the MMA right now, outside of Islam versus Arman Sarukian, coming up in just a month or so. That might be the greatest grappling matchup that we have in MMA currently. But especially at 145 right now, where they're trying to build this man up, Ilia Tapira, who just took out Max Holloway and Volkanovski back-to-back fights. I know they're probably going to go with the Volkanovski fight next, but what's the next big thing that you're going to make him push even more and make him be argued as the greatest of all time when it comes to 45, since that's when you take out Max Holloway and Volkanovski in your 2 title defenses or your 2 title fights, like, how do you go anywhere else, man? Like, you've already taken out the 2 argued GOATs. The only other person would be Jose Aldo, and he's just not that guy anymore. So I mean, when you're looking at the land of the division, I mean, this man Aljamain Sterling is a former 135 champion. This man Movsar Evloev is undefeated, has beaten a bunch of people. I just can't believe that these guys are getting this much disrespect to be on the prelims this weekend. This is a main event, or not a main event. I mean, I guess it would be a main event in some other fight nights, but this is a main card fight, no matter how you slice it up. Everything on the line. I'm a little confused with the UFC this weekend. You're giving a guy in the main event a title shot who's never even fought for the organization, who's from a different organization. You're letting him get a title shot, just waltzing right in. And then a former champion and another guy who's probably got 8 or 9 wins in the UFC now, and Movsar Evloev, two of the biggest prospects you have at 145, and you want to throw them in the prelim for Bryce Mitchell and Chrome Gracie, two guys that are coming off losses to a guy who hasn't fought in like 4 years. I just don't understand the disrespect. Aljamain Sterling might be the most disrespected champion in UFC history, and it might not even be close. It is unreal to see the treatment that he's gotten, all because of an illegal knee that wasn't even his fault, and maybe a couple, performances are just backpacking, but true MMA fans know that this man Aljamain Sterling is a killer, and this fight says it all. I think whoever wins this fight has every chance in the world to go out and take Ilia Tapira's back and take him out, because we all know nobody's going to knock out Tapira at this rate. I mean, my goodness, unless it's somehow like Yair Rodriguez or some weird, style, which I just don't see happening. I really think it's going to be an Aljamain Sterling type or an Evloev guy who might be able to take the back or might be able to drag it out and get him tired and maybe, start, threaten some submissions or ground out a, decision just with control time. So I just don't understand why they're not pushing these guys. If they go out and one of these guys submit the other, like if Evloev goes out there and takes out this man Sterling, it's massive for him. If Sterling goes out and takes an undefeated guy like Evloev, that's massive for him. These are title shot, implications no matter what. And we got him on the prelims for one of your biggest stars, Ilia Tapira's next matchup. Like, come on, man. What are you guys doing? What are we doing? We're missing opportunities here. But then number 3, by far, I mean, you have so many different opportunities for big matchups here. I know, some people like Bryce Mitchell. Some people like Nate the Train. Some people like Dom Reyes. Some people, like Eric Anders and Chris Weidman. They like them all. You got Alexander Pantoja with a title fight. But I just can't lie to you guys. I think after what we just saw John Jones did to Stipe, this is Ciryl Gane's chance to just, right every wrong that he's ever had and goes out there and takes somebody out like Volkov, who's on a run like him. I mean, I'm just saying, Gane can go out there and get this done and just go on the mic and just count out and be like, hey, look what just happened to Stipe. John Jones did him almost dirtier than he did me. Like, yeah, sure, I'm in my prime and he's a little older, but John Jones is just that good. I don't think Tom Aspinall is that good. Like, that could open it up right then and there. Like, I really think this is a huge chance for the heavyweight division to kind of get back right, because we all know John Jones isn't going to take no just random fight anymore. It's going to be big fights only. So say Ciryl Gane wins and Tom Aspinall fight doesn't happen. I mean, Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall, that's a big fight right there. That's a huge opportunity for this man Tom to take out Ciryl Gane, maybe as impressive as John Jones did, and then we really got even a bigger matchup there. So as always, your boy Steven Moustaris. You guys let me know what your 3 biggest fights are for this card, or what fight you guys are looking forward to the most. And you guys let me know and have a good week. Let's go, baby. UFC 310. Whoop!